What's happening, guys and gals? Matt from PC Payload back for another video today. I am going to do a little bit of Star Citizen gameplay, something that I have been waiting to do for a while. I guess I could have done it in the past, but the most recent patch that they put out, which is 2.6.1, has really increased the actual performance of the game, so I'm actually able to show it to you in a better light with better frame rates and without so much crashing. So I'm just going to go ahead and launch and get right in and started into Star Citizen. Give you a little background while this is loading up. If you're not familiar, Star Citizen is the most highly crowdfunded software project in human history. They're at around $145 million in all crowdfunding. And I pledged and backed back in 2013, in the summer of 2013, to back the development of the game. I realized, as anyone back in this game should realize, is that you're not buying a finished product. You are pledging money and giving your support, backing your financial support to a massive multiplayer universe game slash project. It's kind of Chris Roberts. It is Chris Roberts' game. It's his brainchild that he has been wanting to do for his whole life. He started out making games like Wing Commander and Privateer and Freelancer, all the space sims that came out in the 90s and early 2000s, which I was a big part of. That's when I was a kid growing up building computers for the first time, back when it was finally affordable for all of us to have those home PCs for gaming. And so I've always kind of been following his work. And when I found out in 2013 that he had started a Kickstarter back in 2012, I found out about a year later that he was back in the game development side of things. I was really excited to pledge my support and kind of get in on it. And now we fast forward, we're in the early spring, or almost spring rather, of 2013. It's almost March here in Colorado. And finally, they've got it to a point where I feel that I can show quality content without feeling like I'm showing something that it's so far into its kind of infancy still that it's not presentable to everyone else. And so with this latest patch and the addition of more localized servers and the performance increases, I feel like I'm finally at a place now where I'm comfortable showing it, where it's easy to watch. Because before, I was at like 10 to 15, maybe on a good day, I was at maybe 30 frames per second. And 30 frames per second is fine if you're doing basic tasks, but when you're trying to show off gameplay, whether it's first-person shooters or flight sims, 30 frames per second just is not enough. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that have shown Star Citizen in the past, so you may be asking, well, what about all these other guys that have been showing Star Citizen videos for the last 3 years? And what I will tell you is that if it was a private user like myself, not on the development team itself, but just a private citizen, a private backer, they were probably showing you more of the Arena Commander features, which are the features down here. They are more on the single player side, and yeah, it's going to have a lot better performance, so it looks nice and smooth. But as far as the universe, which is the persistent universe, the multiplayer universe, and Star Marine, which is their basically arena style first person shooter combat, those iterations, those pieces of the game have finally come up to speed as far as performance. So really super excited. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into the universe. You'll see a few options here. You can go into your hangar. You can go down to Area 18, which is this screenshot here in the background. So you can physically walk around and go to shops and, buy and sell stuff. Not so much sell stuff at this point. You will be able to sell stuff, but change your clothes, buy things, weapons, spacesuits. And then Crusader, which will send you right to a spaceport and allow you to spawn your ship and go out and play. So while this loads in, I will say that I am a bit of a criminal in the game. I kind of enjoy being naughty, so I have a little bit of a reputation, and I am not actually going to be spawning at Crusader. I'm not going to be spawning at the spaceport for the nicey nice people. I'm actually spawning at a spaceport in an asteroid belt called Grim Hex, and it's basically in a very dense asteroid belt. And the lore behind Grim Hex is basically it's kind of a little bit more shady place, a rundown space station where you can get away with a few things, some more criminal activity. So weapons free for the most part, hidden in the asteroid belt. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in my ship. Let me show you what it looks like inside the space station. And then we'll go out, we'll do maybe a couple jump points, and I'll kind of give you an idea of what the universe looks like. So here we are in my cubby. It's kind of like a rented apartment that you will spawn in at this point in the game. The persistent universe, the persistence of the game, a lot of pieces have been added over time and recently, as far as, you know, keeping your reputation and the credits you earn from doing missions, and the spacesuit you're wearing and buy and all that stuff. But you still will spawn in your cubby. You won't be able to be out in space and save it and then spawn, or I should say load back into the game right back into your ship where you left off. That's not quite there yet. So you are going to spawn in a place like this. Like I said, this is Grim Hex. You can tell right away it's low lit. You know, it's kind of dirty. It gives you that pirate feel. Just kind of shit on the ground. Not a well-maintained station. Let me switch to third person here so you guys can get a little bit better perspective. Like I said, nice and low lit. What's really unique and what's cool about Star Citizen is that they don't build things to be procedurally generated. So if you're familiar with the huge failure that is No Man's Sky, everything that you would see as you're flying through space or you're walking across a planet is procedurally generated. It's generated on the fly to save, you know, memory space and performance and all that. Well, with Star Citizen, everything is physically built into the world. So when I take an elevator up, I'm actually going up. I'm not just jumping in an elevator, it goes into some sort of loading sequence, and then you magically appear in a new place, and you're supposed to feel like you traveled that distance. Everything in Star Citizen is actually there, and it does feel that way. You don't have that, it feels like you're really there, and I really appreciate them doing that. And it's going to be, you know, it's going to take up plenty of space on your hard drive, and it's going to take much longer development, but they're doing it right. They're not just, okay, well, let's make them feel like they traveled here and save ourselves a few bucks in time development, which I really love. So we are at a little terminal, which is supposed to open the elevator. So let's get that rolling. One little thing I've noticed, if you're new to this, or, you know, I'm preaching to the choir if you're already in on this project, is that they really need to work on these little interaction kiosks, because you have to be so right on the money just to get it to activate. I'm used to it because I've been playing it a while, but if you just say pledge and you're like, oh, you're excited and you're gonna go get your ship, it's gonna take you a while to just get the kiosks to work, because the hitbox seems to be really small right now. They just need to widen that out so when you get up to a kiosk and click on something, that works right away. So we have taken the elevator up, and we are at a place which is basically a ship deck. They call it the ship deck at the other space station. And this is going to basically be the little computer kiosks where you walk up to them and you summon your ship. So I'm going to walk up, go ahead and summon the computer. This is the Vanguard Warden. That's the ship that I have backed the game with. And you'll see my credits down here in the left corner. We're going to go ahead and summon that ship, and so that's going to be at landing pad 2. And as soon as that happens, you're going to see that in my HUD, because I've got my spacesuit on, so you've got a bit of a HUD, and you're going to see where it says Aegis Vanguard Warden, and it's 87 meters away. And so I'm going to just follow that out to the airlock. Go ahead and get this rolling here. Come on. So this is a good example of what I was talking about, getting these kiosks to actually, there we go. It's glitchy, you know, it's alpha, guys, so be aware of that. If you go drop $100 on a pledge or $75 on a pledge, don't expect, you're not buying a, you know, finished product AAA game. You're backing a massive project that will eventually, in my opinion, and I certainly hope, will far surpass what we're used to as far as what developers think 60 bucks or 70 bucks is worth. As far as I'm concerned, the money that I've spent in this game, it's not about that to me. It's not about how much money I've pledged for. It's about the product I'm going to get at the end of the day. And so that's what this is all about. Just keep that in mind if you guys decide to pledge. So this is my Vanguard Warden. It is a multi-crew ship, so you can actually have your friends and all that jump on. And I've got a turret up top that a friend of mine can man, or just hang out my ship as I'm flying around. I could easily spend the next 20 minutes talking about how they build these ships and how they have all these awesome damage points, how they fall apart, how incredibly correct in physics they are. But I'm not going to do that. Just think of this as the closest thing to real space simulation as you're going to get. It's very, very sim realistic. It's not gamey. You don't just jump in and just fly around and you're a master pilot. You really do need to master your skills and get your key binding set up with whatever peripherals you like. And I'm going to get into that, actually. I'm going to talk peripherals in just a second here, but let's take a look. So I've got basically an engineering station, which is not usable yet, but it will be, and I'll be able to manipulate and control parts of my ship. I've got a little weapons rack. Eventually, I'll be able to put weapons there. I've got a bathroom. If I really feel like it, I can go in there and take a shit, wash my hands. Hopefully hygiene won't matter in the real game, because I plan on being a dirty, dirty space pirate. Got some lockers, a little kitchenette. Like I said, you got your bunks there. And let's move into the front portion of the ship here. We've got more lockers. Got my step up here. And then I've got my actual flight deck. So, very, very detailed. You know, every little thing, it does something. It means something. So, you know, if I'm taking damage, if I'm flying around, say I've got a co-pilot and he's up here in the ball turret, and he's taking damage, you know, there will be actual damage and sparks flying. And I've seen some of the videos of some of their actual animations that they're creating for when ships take damage in space and combat, and it is just awesome looking. And some of that's already in the game. You obviously aren't going to see that if you're sitting in the pilot seat and flying around necessarily, but a lot of that is going to be in the game, and I can't wait for that. So I'm going to go ahead here and get in my ship now. We're in my cockpit. The HUD, all this stuff down here, everything is active and matters. I've got my little reputation over here on the left. It's a lot like Grand Theft Auto, where I've actually developed a reputation, so I've got a little bar there, and that will let other players know in this server that there's basically a bounty on my head, and if they kill me, they'll actually collect credits for the UEE, which is, you know, the good Federation, so to speak. Everything matters. All the stuff you can learn if you wanted to get into the game, but it's much like a regular ship hub ship HUD where you're gonna use all these things and fly around, and everything matters on the screen. Let's go ahead and take off. I'm using keyboard and mouse as my peripheral, so let's get into that real quick. I'm using keyboard and mouse for purposes of just recording this video. One, because I'm familiar with the keyboard and mouse settings and how I have them, and at the same time, it's just easier not to have my HOTAS, my throttle, and my stick on my desk as I'm doing this video on my microphone. It's just too cluttered, so you guys don't really need to see that. Eventually, I'll do some videos with my full setup once I get everything set up on my desk how I like it. But for now, I'm just kind of giving you guys a quick demo of what this looks like. So I am in the asteroid belt. We are at a place called Yella, and I can pull up all my different jump points that are available. Crusader is the place where we would spawn if we did not have a bad reputation, and I can go there if I like, but Crusader security will be all over my ass pretty quick and try to knock me out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of this asteroid belt using my boost. Which you can see there on the left of my HUD, you can see I've increased my speed quite a bit. I'm going to get out of here because, like I said before, unlike games like No Man's Sky and other games that are using this procedurally generated format for development of their game, everything in Star Citizen is there. Everything is real distance and real space from each other. All these asteroids, nothing is being procedurally generated as I get closer to it. It's all actually there in real distance in real time. And so the speed that I travel and the distance I travel actually matters. So if I say pull up my HUD here and I want to go a certain place that's behind a planet or asteroid, it's going to basically tell me, sorry buddy, you can't go there. You're going to knock into this planet. So you'll see it shows up as orange for the comms array 472. But if I go over to the security post, it's blue, and I'm able to actually warp there. Let's go if I can. I may not be able to. It looks like I can just clear the asteroid belt. Let's go to Cry Astro, and this is where I can get my ship fixed and reload my weapons and land. So let's go ahead and warp there. It's called quantum travel. It's not technically warping. It's like a high-speed, you know, like a turbo drive basically to get within inside solar systems. And then once I actually am able to go to different solar systems, then I'll actually probably be using my warp drive. Alright, so it sounds like there's hostiles in the area, which very well could be me. Okay, so you see that Crusader Security does not want me to be here. Now I can take him out if I want, but he's already damaged me pretty good, and I don't really need to combat him. You know what? Oh, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to waste some credits, probably damage the piss out of my ship. I'm going to go ahead and combat this guy here. And give myself an even worse reputation, just for you guys. Missiles out. Oh yeah, he took a beating there. See if we can clean up our mess here. You tag me? What the fuck are you talking about? What the hell, bitch? I'm gonna take you out now. Acting like you didn't do nothing to me. So I've got a massive size 5 Gatling cannon that I can just shred through these guys once I take their shields down. I know, overheating. So all that stuff's real, guys. You can overheat, you can cause all kinds of problems for yourself. I think I have a couple missiles left. Let's just take her out. Let's be done with it. I think she's pretty well hurt. Ceasefire, bitch! You attacked me! You're not coming home for Christmas, sorry. Ain't happening. You ain't going home for Christmas. I'm under attack. Yeah, damn straight under attack. Just fucking ram your ass. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I wouldn't ram anyone's ass. That's not what I meant. Let's just go ahead and take her out. Let's just use some good old-fashioned lasers. Be done with her. Yeah, well, you know what? You tagged me first. What the fuck was that? So, as I said, this is alpha, and apparently I crashed. Maybe I didn't. Let's see if we can get back in here. Yeah, there you go. So, Star Citizen Alpha. This stuff happens, and I hope that gave you guys at least a little taste of what it looks like to, you know, go from spawning to getting in your ship and, you know, making it out into the universe. But that's a very, very small slice of one instance that could happen. I could go down to planets. At this point, I can go down to Area 18 and walk around the small area that they have, their test bed for their walking around. You know, in 3.0, which is supposed to be out the end of this year, it's going to be full-on fly down to planets, get out of your ship, walk around on planets, and do all kinds of cool stuff. So this is a small taste of Star Citizen and the fidelity of it, and I'm in love. I can't wait to see more of it come out. I don't know if I'm going to continue to make Star Citizen videos because, quite honestly, there are a lot of people doing it. I just wanted to chime in on my 2 cents and say, hey guys, this is what it's all about. I'm very excited about it, and if you want to go check it out, just go to their main website, check out their pledges. If you want to pledge, go for it. I'm not trying to sell a product here. Obviously, the best part about this is that the community runs the company, if you want to look at it that way. These guys are building a game that we paid for, and I can't think of a better way to do business. So thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. This was Matt with PC Payload.